Honestly, it's probably like the worst bird to find.
Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. On this channel, I strive to make entertaining and interesting battles to watch, and I ended up trying to use the Galarian Articuno that I caught for the Psychic Cup, and it was definitely really hard, right? So let's jump into this very first match where I'm going to be leading Galarian Slowking into a Galarian Rapidash. And this is a pretty good matchup for Slowking. And I'm going to shield the very first move just to be safe that it's not high horsepower. We can take a Mega Horn if desired. Body Slams, sure, we can take that. They end up making a hard switch into the Bruxish while I was going to throw a potential Shadow Ball, but I was baiting. And thankfully they do shield the first one, or that would have been really bad for us. And then they don't shield the second move, and thankfully I do decide to be more aggressive and I just blow away the Bruxish with the Shadow Ball. In comes the Rapidash again, and I'm just going to let my Slowking go down to the second Body Slam it's going to throw at us. And I'm going to bring in my own Rapidash to align with their Rapidash. So they end up bringing in their Galarian Slowbro, and I'm going to throw a Mega Horn to its face, which they end up committing a shield, so I'm going to insta-swap into Articuno. And I'm suspecting this is just the Surf, so I'm going to just take it to the face. And I'm going to go for the Brave Bird, which should remove Slowbro here. But I will not be able to get to a move before I go down to the Fairy Wind fast attack. Which made me think, could I have probably just built up a little bit extra energy there? Was that my fault? And fortunately for us, our opponent decides to keep throwing moves here. And we're able to get the energy we need to actually go for a Body Slam. So I feel like maybe if I would have built a little bit extra energy on Articuno, that could have been a better position for us. But at the same time, I don't even know. Like, I feel like Ancient Power is not that strong in this scenario. So we got kind of lucky in that match. In this next one, same lead scenario, and this time I'm going to just risk it and say, okay, it's probably Body Slam. We do make the right call. In comes Malamar. So I'm gonna throw my Surf, switch in the Rapidash. I know he can take one foul play, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna build up a little bit of energy, and I'm just gonna go for a Body Slam. I don't think this is enough to knock out, but fortunately we can actually build up one more Fairy Wind to get a fully loaded Body Slam, but we're just gonna go for a Mega Horn upon this Galarian Slowking coming in. We go down to the Hex, and I think my Slowking is the best answer in this scenario. But yeah, this is not looking too great so far because I do have a little bit of energy lead upon our Slowking. As you can see, they throw double Surf here, and I wasn't really sure if I should have commit a shield or not, and I decided to go straight Shadow Ball on the Slowking, hoping that they think I'm just going to bait, and unfortunately it wouldn't have mattered, I suppose, because I would have just gone down to the Surf, even if, I mean, they did shield, so even if I baited, it wouldn't really mattered. So in comes the Rapidash, and in this scenario, I feel like maybe I could have tried to build up a little bit of extra energy, but same situation. I don't think Ancient Power actually would have been enough damage to knock out here. And Psycho Cut on Articuno just isn't cutting it to make it gain energy enough to really match a lot of these fast move Pokemon in this format. So we do end up getting our opponent to switch in our Raichu here. And I'm going to go straight Shadow Ball. I mean, I should have just went for Surf, let's be real. But if they didn't shield, then that would have been really nice for us. I don't shield at all, and I get punished pretty hard there. But I decide I'm going to just try to bring in Slowking, and I'm going to try my best to just Hex down on the Raichu. But yeah, losing Rapidash to a Wild Charge is pretty bad. Definitely big misplay. I should have at least committed a shield there. And in comes their Rapidash. I'm just going to go for Shadow Ball because if they shield, if they don't shield, at least we can, if they don't shield, we knock out. If they do shield, at least we get the shield. In comes Claydol, and I'm going to go for the Surf. They do commit a shield. And from here, we can go for a Brave Bird against Claydol, which just barely lets it live. And this is this thing. I was in like a weird scenario where I feel like a Shadow Ball would have been too close to take. That's why I want to throw the Brave Bird. But if I would have just let the Claydol hit me first, typically I can tank one move from Claydol. So that was a misplay on my end for sure. Alright, so Bronzong lead, definitely not easy, and I think it's probably smarter to just go straight Surfs in this matchup. It seems most Bronzong are going to just shield here. I mean, obviously if they don't shield, Shadow Ball is going to punish them. But I think just between the Hex and the Surf, it's probably just better to go for Surf. I kind of struggled in that because I went for the Shadow Ball first. And I will just safe swap here into my Rapidash and go for a Mega Horn after building a little bit of extra energy here against the Bronzong. And we're gonna knock it out. In comes Malamar, and that little bit of extra energy puts us in a position where we actually outpace and we can hit it with a Mega Horn one-shotting it. And then upon that, we just have a Victini here in the back, which honestly is still kind of scary to deal with. So we're going to have to play around this, but they end up not wanting to build up extra energy, and they throw, well, I think they had a little bit, but I guess they didn't want to keep taking body slams. Unfortunately for us, that put us in a position where we can just barely get to the Surf and take out Victini. I don't think Articuno really could have done anything here. Like, honestly, like, yeah. I tried so many battles with this team, and this is definitely... I had some pretty decent sets, but it honestly required me to play so sharp to even get a somewhat average set with this Pokemon. I don't think it's good. And yeah, don't use it. But the fact that I even got some wins with it, that's why we're here, because you're never going to see this anywhere else, like I promise you. No one's gonna be running this Pokemon in the Psychic Cup. But yeah, so we lose we actually got some value in that. We got the shield. I'll take it. I mean, I think Slowking and Rapidash do make a pretty good pair here on the team, but aside that, we're in a pretty good position. We can kind of gain energy. I'm not too afraid of the Claydol situation. I will just go straight Mega Horns here, and I do build up that little bit of extra energy. In comes the, was it Slowbro? I'm trying to remember. Was it a Slowbro? Yeah. In comes the Galarian Slowbro. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm really thankful they actually threw this. I don't know. Maybe they were full of energy and that's why they threw it. But yeah, fortunately for us, that's good. And they end up just letting this Surf go through. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter because as long as we shield one of the Surfs, they don't have enough energy to do anything else really. But yeah, maybe they thought I had more energy than I actually had. But yeah, but that was a 3-2 set. GG's. Hit that like button to help my content reach a wider audience here on YouTube. And I have one more set for you. So let's see. Galarian, oh my gosh, yeah. So obviously that was a good lead and a very slow switch on my end here to the Rapidash. And in comes Bruxish, and I'm going to try my best to just not shield and try to get some value off with my Rapidash. And I'm going to throw both body slams. I get the very first shield, which is very good. We get both shields. And now I can bring back in the king themselves. And I'm going to go for, I think I just, yeah, excuse me. I decided to just throw the Surf. Excuse me, by the way, if my voice cracks at any point. I'm on the final couple days of my isolation from getting COVID last week. My very first time also, which is crazy to think after all this time I finally got it. But yeah, I'm feeling much better today. But yeah, in comes the Gardevoir, and because they have the Medicham and the Gardevoir, fortunately I knew that I was able to just go for the Brave Bird, and even though this cup, there's really no scenario where Articuno seems to be able to live after a Brave Bird. Fortunately, they had the one Pokemon that I quadruple resist its fast attacks. Yay! Go us! Anyways, there's a Slowking lead. These Malamar switches should be much faster. I should be much faster about switching to Rapidash here. And I go straight for the Mega Horn. Again, these type of matches, it's up in the air if you want to bait or not, but it seems that me not baiting has really paid off on just connecting a one-shot instead of like trying to play through the shield game. In comes their Slowking, and I'm just gonna go for a body slam here. They end up just taking him to the face, which I'm okay with. I mean, this is pretty frightening. If I remember correctly, I feel like they have a Bruxish here in the back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Because I have both my shields and I'm thinking, okay, I'm in a good position, right? But not when they have a Bruxish. I can't really do anything, even if I have the 2 shields. The fast attack, bite is going to be enough to just wreck right through the rest of my team. So yeah, unfortunately, saving my shields in this match didn't really benefit me. But yeah, well played, GG. In our next battle, we get another Galarian Rapidash lead, which is super good for Slowking. I like Slowking a lot in this. I thought Galarian Slowking was really fun to play in the Psychic Cup, but I think I'm gonna like mess around a little bit more, experiment before we have our switch over. I'm gonna probably focus on making a video on Ultra League when it comes out again, or maybe what was the cup? I don't remember what's coming up, but it doesn't matter right now, I guess. Well, now I need to check. The Sunshine Cup. Okay. Yeah, I'll make some videos on the Sunshine Cup for sure. But yeah, so in this matchup, we build a little bit of extra energy. We're just going to take a body slam to the face before we throw. Really unnecessary for me to throw the Mega Horn here. Oh, I do remember this. Me throwing the Mega Horn here actually was... I could have removed it with body slam. It was a little bit of an accident on my end. I think it might have been just like a misclick. Yeah, you can see here that because of the energy situation, fortunately I was able to remove that Slowbro, but we're not going to be able to even remove Malamar here, and the foul play will one-shot us for sure at this point. And yeah, fortunately we were able to come in and just barely remove the Malamar with Fairy Wind, but yeah, that was too close for comfort. You know, I just did it to make it look harder than it was, right? All right, so in this next one, we get a Cantonian Slowbro lead, which is pretty interesting, but we're gonna stay in, and I'm gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball turn 1. Oh, no, I actually bait here, I remember. I go for a Surf, trying to get a shield, and they end up not committing a shield, which I think makes sense because they got my shield, and if I would have went for Shadow Ball, then they still have the shield advantage at the moment. But yeah, that wasn't really good for us. I think they just wanted to bring the Claydol in there anyways. So a little bit of a waste of our efforts, unfortunately. We are just going to stay in so we don't get hard countered. And I'm going to align my Articuno here. In this situation, I should have just let the Shadow Ball go through. It would have done a lot of damage, but I would have been able to at least take one Shadow Ball from Claydol without my defense drop. And because of that situation, it really put me in a pickle because I got a little impatient. I think I just messed up here. I think I should have just went for Mega Horn, which I should have been able to get to. Even with the way this match played out, I should have just went for the Mega Horn on Rapidash here. And then I'm pretty sure I could have potentially pulled off the win with another Mega Horn on the Claydol in the end. So GG's to my opponent. So my opponent, we get a Claydol lead, which is not that great for us, but I'm going to just stay in and go for a Surf and see if they shield or not. And we do get one shield. So I'm going to safe swap real quick into Galarian Rapidash. I'll commit a shield here, and I think it's Scorching Sands. They do get the attack drop, which is a little unfortunate, but hey, what can you do? That's part of the game. I'm going to go for Mega Horn. They do commit the shield, and in comes... Is that a Gardevoir or something? Or no, that is a Galarian Rapidash also. So we hit it with the Mega Horn, but we do have the attack drop, so it is able to tank it. I'm going to bring in my Galarian Slowking, and I think I decide to just take the Body Slam here. And I decide to switch out into Articuno to get a little bit of an energy lead, thinking if I can get the Brave Bird off, and I'm able to, you know, switch back in or whatever. So in this scenario, I think that's okay. I mean, I'm thinking I can still farm down just barely here before the Malamar gets to a move, which we were fortunate to be able to do, and I can build up to another Brave Bird. This is probably some of the most Galarian Articuno did in this entire set, or in all of these battles. I mean, Articuno actually removed 2 Pokemon, so yeah, 3-2 set there, and yeah, hope you enjoyed these battles. And thanks for tuning in today. Consider subscribing if you want more spicy GBL content. I've hit legend many times. I'm getting back into the groove of things right now, trying to get the momentum back here on the Sassifrass channel. And definitely hit the like button. Let me know in the comments below if you would ever run something like Galarian Articuno on your team after seeing it perform here today. With that being said, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. You have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. And I'll catch you in the next one.